You alluded to it a little bit earlier, but you outlined 3 steps that people can follow. And I wonder if you can dig into, again, just what those 3 steps are and a little bit more about what the Ayurvedic Reset Diet actually is.
So before I go into that, I'll give you one little snippet on the side. Food is not just for satisfying hunger or satisfying taste. Ayurveda recognizes 5 koshas in the body, and I will quickly read them out to you. There is a Annamaya kosha, the physical body, which is nourished and sustained by food. Then there is a Pranamaya kosha, which retains life force. So when you have made your body healthy with food, you are retaining the life force. Then there is a Manomaya kosha, mind. Healthy body sustains a healthy mind. Then there is a Vijnanamaya kosha, intellect. The body which is well nourished, free from disease, and well kept in every way will have a sound mind, and also it will promote intellect. And then there is a Anandamaya kosha. The whole purpose of human life is to be reaching a blissful state of existence, and you start that process by putting right food in your mouth. So food forms the foundation or the basis of our noble aspirations in life. So Ayurveda, that's what it says about food, how food nourishes us. Now, it's a good thing for us, right? Food. But what happens mainly in the industrial part of the world is that there is an industrialization of food manufacturing, processing, distribution, and even eating. Industrial scale packaged food, packaged vegetables, canned fruits with preservatives and chemicals, which you cannot even spell. A normal human being cannot spell those chemicals. They don't know what it is. But you read the label on a canned something or the other, there will be like 65 different chemicals. Who said food has to have all those? And actually, the chemicalization begins right when the growing part is happening in the fields, in the agriculture part. Same thing is true with raising animals for meat and such. So it's heavily chemically sustained and against the basic environmental principles. That way of manufacturing food and transporting it for thousands of miles in refrigerated trucks and keeping in the supermarkets for a long time, it completely kills the food. There is no vitality in it. It just looks like food. It's not food. But what has happened is our modern day life is such, we are eating 3 meals a day and few snacks in between. And we have been doing that all our life. So there is too much consumption of wrong food. As a result, lot of lifestyle related diseases are in every household. Thyroid problems, hormone problems, heart disease, cancers, various abdominal complaints and diseases, fibromyalgia, depression. Even depression is connected with wrong food. So the chronic diseases, diabetes, hypertension, they become like household. Everybody knows somebody who has it. So it's the wrong food eaten in excess. That's a modern problem. 200 years ago, 300 years ago, we didn't have this problem. So every culture on earth has a recollection or a history of hunter-gatherer ancestors. They ate natural food right off the tree. They hunted an animal and they ate. We cannot go back to that. We are in the modern times and we are facing the industrial food on our dinner table every day. What to do? So we identify the problem, the root of it. We identify what it is doing to us. What is the way out? That is where my book Ayurvedic Reset Diet comes in. And the question that you asked about the 3 steps, in the end, Brandy, it's a very simple process. You make up your mind, you're going to help yourself. That's the first thing. Because if you don't have that resolve, no diet book is going to do anything for you. You shouldn't waste your money on any like self-help book if you don't make that resolve, intention. You say, well, I'm going to get better and this is what I'm going to do. All right, number 1. Then you go through your household, the book goes into that. What are the foods that you just let go? Processed food and packaged food and foods with preservative, you just let go of those. Invite healthy food into your house, fresh, local, if you can afford it, if it's possible for you, organic, fruits and vegetables and water. So those kind of things, you in whole grains, you invite those into your kitchen and pantry. And then the Ayurvedic reset diet principle itself is just 3 simple steps. Fasting on water, followed by fasting on water and some herb tea. After that, mono diet for an extended period of time, say 1 week or so. One type of fruit for all the meals, or one type of vegetable for all the meals. And after you've done that for a week, 2 weeks, then you gradually go back to combining food, but make sure that the carbohydrates, proteins, and those kind of food groups, they have their own time to move through your system. When we throw everything on the plate and we are munching it down, food is just sitting in the belly, not having opportunity to get processed, and nutrients aren't absorbed sufficiently. So we give time for smart combining of food, and then eventually we can go back to stay with smart combining, but go back to more regular eating. So it's a very, very simple system to follow and gives great results.
Let's dig into each aspect of it. And because I'm thinking I have like a few different questions flowing through my head. So if we take it logistically, so the first step with fasting, so fasting on water, how does that provide value to the human body? Like what value does that provide?
So you find something dirty, what do you use to wash? Water. If something spills on the floor, you need to clean it, what do you use? Water. You don't clean it with alcohol. You don't clean it with fruit juice. So water is our body is like 75% water. Our lung tissues, 83% water. So we use that natural equation in our favor. We say, okay, we have so much water in our body, so we are going to use water to do the flushing, the cleaning, the housekeeping. We are going to do that. So when we decide that and we start drinking water, and in this Ayurvedic Reset Diet, I have even gone into how much water do you need to drink. It's not standard 8 cups for everybody. There is a little calculation that suits your body weight and your exercise level. According to that, you have to decide how much water to drink. And you drink water. The process of cleansing begins right from mouth. The tongue, the taste buds, the oral tissues, tonsils, throat, the esophagus, it all gets cleaned. And in the stomach, the acid gets diluted because you're not eating anything. It doesn't need a strong acid, and you're drinking water. So acid gets diluted. And then water is passing through your kidneys. It's cleansing the kidneys and it's eliminating wastes. So every cell in your body will get a signal, say, hey, this is my chance to do housekeeping. And they start eliminating waste, and all that waste is out of your body. Plus, the digestive system, the old remnants, the didn't clear the digestive system, all that also gets eliminated. So water does a beautiful job of flushing the entire body. And you stay on a water fast for a day, 2 day, enormous energy in the body and all the waste products are going. So that is a most vital, important and preliminary step of Ayurvedic reset diet, water fasting. And then the next step, also during water fasting, I want to bring out one more thing. See, the body is not receiving additional calories. You're not eating anything. But you're alive, you're active, you're going about your normal life, you're drinking water. So the body intelligence is saying, I still need calories to sustain myself. So where am I going to get it from? It goes for unwanted sick tissue in the body. And those begin to get digested by the enzymes within the cell. And body is a very smart thing. It will recycle. So the sick old tissue gets digested and the nutrients are released. The body will recycle those, eliminate the toxins, eliminate the waste and recycle what it can. So you're getting rid of old stuff, bad stuff, which is in your body. That's the water fast. Mono diet is the second step. What that does is it gives the body a message. You're going to say, I'm in the tropics now, I'm in Costa Rica. Everywhere you turn, there are papayas. So I'll say, all right, I'm going to do a papaya mono diet. So you're not going to be hungry too much because you're regularly getting your papaya. And what the body does is there is a calorie restriction. It's not calorie not available, it's restriction. Lesser number of calories and enough energy to sustain the day. Again, it cleanses the body. The digestive tract is reset. It's only used to now absorbing nutrients from that papaya. So all its attention is on that one type of food that you're eating to get maximum nutrients out from it, instead of overcrowding it and the body is not got time to get all the nutrients out. So that is the mono diet part. Then I come to the third part of the Ayurvedic reset diet, in which you say you have your fruits and nuts and seeds, if you're not allergic to them, first thing in the morning. 6 hours later, you have vegetables and grains. 6 hours later, you have your legumes if you're a vegetarian for protein. And if you're a meat eater, you'll have your meat food. That is later in the day. What that does is the lighter food, fruits and nuts, they are digested quickly from the body. Vegetables and grains, they are digested and cleared from the body. And at the end, you get your meat, heavy food, legumes, heavy to digest food in the end, and you have all night to clear it from your body. As a result, the food is not sitting together in the body, in the digestive system, and fighting for the digestive juices. So it all has its own time for taking in and eliminating. And that works beautifully. People don't complain of gas. They don't complain of constipation. They don't complain of feeling bloated and rumbling and indigestion. All those problems just go away. So that's the third and final step. And in the book, I have given like a timeline, how long you can do a certain fasting. So it's very interesting. And several of my clients have tried and they are getting results. So it's a great little approach. In the modern times, when this is what we got ourselves. Yeah.
Okay. I love the approach of it. And I love what you just described as just kind of like the way to eat the foods throughout the day once you get to the third step. Is it, how often do you recommend that someone repeat this process? Is it something you do just, kind of like spring cleaning, like once or twice a year? Is it what's the word I'm looking for? Just a process that keeps continuing? How often do you recommend that people do this?
What happens is Ayurvedic Reset Diet is a message for change in your lifestyle. Once people get a taste of that, by changing their diet, by changing their relationship with food, how they eat, when they eat, what they eat, why they eat, they have gone through a change, a metamorphosis. Once they've gone through that, they'll be very reluctant to just throw it out because they've worked hard to get there. Having said that, I also recognize that you can't be in a format for the rest of your life. So what happens, people go through this, say after Christmas, after Thanksgiving, after the festival times, in January, they make new resolutions. They say, yeah, I'm going to do it. And they stay with it for 3 months, 4 months, 2 months. And then spring is coming and they're happy to enjoy good health and good food. So they get back to the routine. So it can be done for shorter amounts of times and also for like 8 weeks or so. And then eventually, when you have reset your body, that's the thing, reset. You reset your body and then you're more watchful, more careful about what you do. And you can gradually ease into regular life. It works beautifully.
And then regular life, I assume, would be following kind of what you described in step 3. So you would be, figuring out kind of like what your maintenance diet is and what you would be generally eating in the morning, generally eating at lunch, and generally eating in the evening.
Yes. It helps you totally reformulate your connection with food. So now you become 10 degrees smarter about making your choices. And then it's like a breeze. You know what to do.
Yeah. I think that one of the things that to me is unique in learning this from you is what's good to eat in the morning and why, like why these lighter foods make it through and how your body can handle a certain diversity of nutrients at one given point. And then the next food that is something unique that I feel like I'm learning from you, that is kind of a deeper level of healthy eating in a rhythm that feels like it naturally fits with our body and with the rhythm of the earth and the moon and day and night. What would be, so I feel like I get this general kind of hierarchy of what to eat throughout the day. What would you drink in those different time periods? And then what do you recommend as snacks for people when you do get hungry?
Yeah. So the best drink is water. No doubt about it. After mother's milk, it's water. That's what I would say. So water, but not the bubbly water, carbonated water, vitamin water, chlorinated, fluorinated, all the brands of water. We don't need all that. Good old simple water. Give me a bottle of water. Okay. So that. And if you have your own well, which is free of contaminants, that's even better. Okay, water. Other than that, coconut water is good. I don't recommend those look like something. Like, if you're allergic to dairy, you don't want dairy, you don't have to go for almond milk and oat milk and nut milk and soy milk. You don't have to do all that because all those processing takes a lot of chemicals. If coffee whips you up, you don't have to go for decaf. Just don't have coffee. Decaf is an excuse of a coffee. And decaffeination has its own chemical process. So you figure out what works for you and you keep it simple. Coffee doesn't work, you can let go of that. You have other things. Same way, I'm okay with fruit juices, but not on a daily basis. In the sense that you're throwing out the fiber. So it's basically just the colored water from the fruit. It's natural, it's organic, but it's junk, right? Very high sugar. Even when it says no extra sugar added, you suppose when you're eating brandy, you can eat maybe 2 apples. You got all the fiber, you got all the skin, from the skin and from the pulp, you got all that fiber, all the micro minerals, you got it. You juice the apple. For a cup of juice, you have to have 6 apples to juice a cup of, get a cup of apple juice. Can you eat 6 apples? That will be hard. You can probably, but that will be a lot of chewing work, huh? But drinking a cup of juice is very easy. Go to the fridge, pull out the juice, chuck, you got juice. So that's why I don't recommend juices. Unless a person is so sick they cannot chew or something, they can have a little bit of juice. But regular people eat the fruit. That you have teeth, you chew and you eat the fruit. Don't go for juices. So snacking would be mainly, if you're okay with nuts, you can have those, or little chunks of vegetables and cheese if you're okay with dairy, pieces of fruits from time to time if you get hungry. Otherwise, just stay with your meals and skip the packaged snacks. You know, crackers, cookies, chips. The supermarket aisles are calorie bombs. You walk through them, it's like a nuclear bomb. It's that many calories in nice little packages. And oh, wow, you want to not go there.
It sounds like basically what you're saying is stick to whole foods, just try to get rid of things that aren't whole foods.
Yes. Stick to whole foods, stick to, if you can afford, go for organic, go for local, try to grow your own if you can, a little tomato plant in your deck, a little basil in a flower pot, whatever you can. And that will also help you. Working with soil has its own uplifting effect on us.
It's interesting. The number of people who I have interviewed who have brought that up is amazing. And it shows how many people in this world are realizing the benefit of just getting your hands in the soil. It kind of circles back to what you were saying in the beginning, right? About connecting to Mother Earth and that nourishment.
Yes. Plus, the soil has the whole plethora of microorganisms, which are very beneficial to us. They actually help us build our immune system. Talk about immune system. The whole world is dealing with pandemic. And as a microbiologist, I'm keeping my eyes on it, like what's happening. So, and as a homeopath also, I'm studying it, I'm keeping an eye on it. Our immunity is being affected by what is going on. How to build that back? So a little bit of time out in the nature, in fresh air, walking barefoot on earth, these are basic things you can do. Go be in the dirt for a little bit. It's not going to kill you. It will increase your immunity. It will make you stronger. So those are the little things in our day-to-day life that we can do. Mother Earth, yes, why not? Touch her.
What a beautiful thought, and just picture an idea of just playing with Mother Earth, barefoot with our hands, just getting out there. And I love that you're saying that would help our immune system. I haven't heard that before. I've heard, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, but yeah, like just that it boosts our immune system to be connecting with the earth.
Absolutely, because you're dealing with those microbes and the body will develop immunity to them. It's like a training school, Little babies, they move around in the house and they're sitting on the ground and putting things in the mouth. Nothing wrong with that. That's how they're introduced to the germs around them and they're building their immunity, right? So keeping little babies in a little air bubble, totally sterile condition, it brings down their immunity. You let them run around barefoot. Yeah. so that they can, their body can learn to deal with the germs around them and develop immunity.
I love that. And something that I try to ask everyone that comes on the show is to share with me one simple idea that pops into their head of something that we can try in our daily lives that will end up helping us, helping the earth, helping the animals around us. I wonder if you have one that's popping to the front of your mind. You've already shared a bunch, so it could just be a
Yes.
summary of those.
Yes. One simplest thing that does come to me is nature goes by the law of abundance. It gives you fresh air. It gives you food from the trees and the farms. So when we encounter that abundance, we just don't hold it back for ourselves. We say, I'm grateful, thank you. It's for my fellow human beings as well. It's for my fellow animals and birds and bees as well. So it's not just for us, it's for all of us. Include people in your lives. Share the beauty, share the abundance, share the wealth that you have been given by nature. That's what comes to me. And that doesn't have to be one day in our life. That we could practice that in little chunks every day of our life. It's a way of looking or being.
It's funny. I had got chills while you said it, which means like it's so good. And I think especially what's popping into my head is that we've just had a really hard year when it comes to connecting with others and sharing. And it's such a beautiful thing to focus on right now, to think of sharing every bit of abundance that we have with other people and with the animals and with the earth. And if we can all focus on doing that, we will uplift the communities of all of those living beings around us, and that will go out to around them and around them. And it's just such a beautiful way to move forward in the world in a way in which we're all more deeply, genuinely, compassionately connected. I really love that idea.
There is a very beautiful Sanskrit shloka to just reflect that sentiment that you just expressed. And I'll recite that for you. And the meaning is exactly what you said. You've already said it. I'm just putting it in Sanskrit, okay? Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma phale dukha bhag bhavet. These 4 lines you just said in English.
I love, so first of all, I want you to type it to me so that I can put it into the show notes. But
sure.
What I really like about it on an even higher level is that the Sanskrit means that someone has taken the time to think about this idea and summarize it in a way to communicate it among people. And I think that is, that's something that's really cool about Sanskrit anyway, right? Is that there are so many ideas that are communicated in a few words that take with them emotion and thought and just a holistic, I don't know, it's just amazing how in different languages sometimes we can express something that we don't have words for in one language, and there's words that exist in another language. That's something that has always fascinated me just about humanity, and it shows what people through history have talked about in that culture with that language, because words were created to express different thoughts and emotions and ideas. So thank you so much for sharing that. And I do want to put that in the show notes so that
I will send it to you.
Okay, perfect. So to wrap up, where is the easiest place to find the book? Is it innertraditions.com? Let me show it again for everybody.
Yes. So this Ayurvedic Reset Diet, my book, along with other books that I have written, they are available in innertraditions.com. That is one place to go to. Amazon has it. All the local bookstores have it. And that's how you'll get the books.
Perfect. And I'll link to some of those in the notes just to get people there quickly.
Sure.
And if anyone wants to get in touch with you, what would be the easiest way to reach out to you?
They would reach to the publicist in innertraditions.com, and the publicist contacts me.
Perfect. Okay. I will link to that in the notes as well. Well, thank you so much for sitting and chatting with me about all of this today. I know that I have so many questions and I just get so excited, and I appreciate your willingness to sit with me and to share all this in-depth information about your life and what you've learned and what you've done. And I think it's so amazing that you have such a pure, loving heart and really want to help people, and you've come up with a way to do it. And I'm very excited and honored to get to spend the time with you today. And I can't wait to hear from everyone who's watching and listening who tries this out. I mean, I am very excited. So thank you so much.